Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be talking about nursing as a profession in Australia. So I'm going to be telling you all the details about the different types and classifications of nursing profession. We're also going to see in detail about what are the requirements, how much salary you can get, and what is the general expectation kind of a role. So without much delay, let's get started with today's video. So, nursing, as we all know, is the primary sector or the primary role in the healthcare sector. So, with the COVID-19, we all know the frontline workers in the healthcare sector are so much in demand, and we all know hospitals will exist till human beings exist. There's no doubt about it. So that is something like an evergreen skilled occupation which is in demand in all the countries. Okay, so most of the Indians migrate to the Middle East and Eastern countries and even US. So everywhere nursing is in demand. So I'm going to be focusing today's talk about Australia and what are the different kinds of occupations that you can get as a qualified nurse, or what are the qualifications that you can migrate. This is something like teaching. So teaching, I always vouch, whenever you finish a teaching degree, you will get a job, okay, because teachers are everywhere. You have schools in every suburb in Australia. So that is like the same primary kind of a sector. Similarly, nursing is very, very essential, and I have seen so many of my friends and family who have come here to study a nursing degree, which is much easier. In case of medical professions, I think it is much easier. If you want to settle abroad, it's better to send your kids or you migrating here for your bachelor's degree and then go through the formal registration process in Australia. I understand it's very expensive, but somehow, if you look at the calculation, you will still be spending the same amount of money to migrate as a skilled migrant. Okay, so it's very funny because I was discussing with one of my friend about the PR application. So he wanted to wait to apply for the PR so he can add his spouse name in the PR application, but for the spouse visa he has to pay money. So it gets balanced somewhere in the Australian system. They are very smart in getting that money somewhere out of it, but you get all the benefits for the money you pay, no doubt about it. There will not be any regrets, but I'm sure the initial process of spending for the international fees will be a little bulky. Okay, so nursing itself, you can choose what you like. So some people might not like to work in the patient care. In that case, they can go in the administrative sector of nursing. If you like teaching, then you can obviously go to universities which has nursing degrees and you can start your career as a nursing teacher. So if you're interested in clinical practice, so you can start off as a registered nurse, you can start off as an enrolled nurse, or at the least you can do a certification course and start as an assistant, a personal carer. So there are different things that you can do depending on what you like, what you're passionate about. I know there are certain people who are really passionate about the patient care, disability care, and special needs children care. They're really passionate about it. So if you're one such person, you can specialize yourself in one particular sector. If you want to really make very good money in the long run, I would say get specialized either in the disability sector or in the aged care sector or in the special needs sector. Especially disability and aged care industry is very, very huge in Australia. Okay, so when I came, people told me, okay, you could do an aged care or a childcare job and you will get a job immediately. If you registered for a certificate 3 or certificate 4 and you get a job. But my level of patience and tolerance is not something that matches that role, so I didn't choose it. But there are so many people who opted for it and who have made career, who are still making a career in that particular industry. If you are one such people, then you want to stick around till the end where I share complete information about the different types of nurses. So let's go into details about the different types of nursing professions that we have. In general, the nursing profession or nurses are classified as three main categories. So one is enrolled nurse, and the other one is registered nurse, and the third one is anything other than this. Okay, so other categories I can say. So it could be in the management or the admin of nurses, or you could be in teaching nursing degrees or nursing programs. So you can be an educator in that particular sector. If you're not practicing in the clinical area, then anything other than that would come under the other category. So let's look at each and every category in greater detail. So what do you mean by an enrolled nurse? So enrolled nurse is, like I said, the personal care assistant can be someone even with aged care certificate or a disability care certificate. So that is the primary or the very minimum level you enter into the healthcare sector. But with the right nursing qualification, the entry level role that you will be entering is enrolled nurses. So they are the entry level nurses, and you need proper qualification to get as registered as an enrolled nurse. Okay, so what is the basic difference is they generally do the tasks that are delegated by the registered nurse. So they will work under a registered nurse who has more authority and more the qualification to administer medicines to, so they will be working, the enrolled nurses will work under a particular registered nurse and do the task that they have been delegated to do. So usually they will be assisting patients when they come in to a particular healthcare center or a GP, and they will be assisting with basic tasks. So if you look at the qualification that you need a minimum of diploma of nursing. Okay, so diploma is a very, very basic thing to start off for the nursing career. So a diploma is compulsory, and you will also get 400 hours clinical placement along with this particular diploma, which is compulsory for you to get registered as a particular enrolled nurse. So you need a diploma in nursing, and you need 400 hours of clinical placement that you do as part of your course. So usually these courses take around 2 years, 1.5 to 2 years, depending on the institute that you're approaching and depending on the units that you're taking. So you can do this course as after you finish your 12th standard or year 12, and you will also have English requirement when you come here to Australia to study. So English requirement is not really high. So it's minimum of 6.5 or 6.5 in IELTS and 65 in PT, which is minimum, but it again depends on the university that you're going to apply for. And after you get your registration, then the entry level salary somewhere starts between 50,000 to 60,000, and it can go up depending on the state. So it's not the biggest, highest salary, but it is your foot at the door, which is very, very important in the Australian work system. So getting your foot at the door is very important. So that's the first category of nurses, the enrolled nurses. Now coming to the registered nurses, and if you are working specifically in the children or in the birth sector or in the pregnancy division, then you also have an opportunity to be a midwife, which is huge. Here people have minimum 3, 4, 5 kids. So they love big families. So registered nurses are people who are more qualified and who play a very, very crucial role in the healthcare sector. So they administer drugs to patients based on the specialist advice or GP's advice, and nurses have more authority and more control even in vaccinations, in giving injections. So the first thing when you go to any community clinics or any clinics, you would just meet a nurse. It's not you directly go and meet a specialist, or in case of GP, you meet a GP. But nurses will have a very, very crucial role in maintaining the patient records, in working with the hospital team, and they are like the mid person between the patient and the center, and who has complete records of your particular cases. Okay, so if you are in the midwife, so if you want to specialize as a midwife, then your role will be more working with pregnant women and assisting them during childbirth and after postnatal care, after baby's delivery, and breastfeeding, vaccinations and all that. So this is again, a very, very rewarding career, and people enjoy being a registered nurse. The pay is also pretty good. It starts somewhere in the mid late 50s or 60s, and it can go anywhere up to 80 or 90,000. So depending on your skill set, depending on your experience, and depending on your specialization, your pay scale might vary. So what are the requirements in terms of education? You will need a bachelor's of nursing to be a registered nurse. So if you're completing your bachelor degree of nursing, and then you will be able to get your particular registration with 800 hours of clinical placement. This will be as part of the course. So obviously you will complete it, and this will get you kick-started in the nursing or the clinical sector as a registered nurse. So even after year 12, you can hit straight into Bachelor of Nursing. Other than diploma, there's no need to complete a diploma and then go there. So if you're aiming at a registered nurse as your career starting, so you can quickly go and pursue your Bachelor of Nursing. And English language requirement is pretty much the same. You might need maths as your compulsory subject in your 12th standard. So that is pretty much the Bachelor of Nursing. And you've got multiple universities in different states that offer the curriculum in different intakes, and also the duration of the course might vary. And Master of Nursing is another option that you can choose, but that is not something that many people take in. They would rather prefer to come from other countries like India. Straight away after doing their nursing and after they have the experience, they can migrate with a very, very shortcut program called Iron Program. I've got another video about it. You can check it out. I'll leave the link in the description below. So make sure to check out my other video, how to migrate to Australia if you are already a registered nurse working in another country. Okay, so I hope this video was useful, informative, and has given you all the information that you need to either pursue your studies in Australia in nursing, or to migrate to Australia as a nurse. So these are the different options that you've got, and this is definitely in demand. There's no doubt about it. So don't lose hope. It's just a tough time we're going through at the moment with Corona. I'm sure this will pass soon and everything will get back to normal. So I wish you all good luck. And if you have any doubts, please feel free to leave the comment below and I will try to answer your questions. Okay, so I wish you all the best, and I'll see you all in the next video.